six-figure income at a six-figure business. And they think that they need more clients, better marketing, or better system. But today, I'm here to tell you that one of your biggest challenges that is keeping you stuck, it's your pricing strategy. My name is Olivia, and in today's video, I am going to break it down to you of how important and what a big difference the right pricing strategy makes and will make to your business. So let's start off. And this is what I see over and over again. And this is also the mistake that I've made in my own business. You know, when you start off, you are testing the market. You don't know much about pricing or value or even about your client's needs. So, and also you want clients, you need customers. So you start off by charging a reasonable price for your services or your products. And as the business grows, you don't really adjust those pricing. So you continue charging at that price and still doing all the work. You do the marketing, you do the admin, you do everything. You wear so many hats. And what is the result? You end up feeling burnt out. You feel as if you're doing too much and not being valued and not being paid enough. And you end up hating your clients, and you think that you are in the wrong industry and you don't know where you are going wrong. And then there's also the other one where the clients are singing your praises, but your bank balance don't reflect the good feedback or the happy clients. So now, what do? You need a mind shift. You need to shift your mind from who are you targeting and what kind of clients do you need, and how do I increase my pricing to reflect the value that I am offering. And the biggest fear when you don't understand or you don't realize the value that you offer. So your biggest fear is, but what if I increase my price and I lose my customers? Here is the thing. The customer who appreciates value will understand when you increase your pricing. When you increase your pricing, it will sift the low-paying clients who you have been undercharging for so long. It will immediately, your business will step up and you will attract the right people. It's a great challenge. It's not easy to do. It is one of the most difficult things to do because already you are with clients that you've known for quite a while. You have a good relationship. They pay you on time. And now you are thinking, how can I go back to them and tell them that they need to pay more? And that is where you'll be able to sift from a 6 to a 7-figure business. Because you need to have courage to be able to sit down with your clients and say, look, it's not working. Or instead of maybe saying this is not working, you can write a very nice email and you can explain to them that there will be a price increase. The thing about a price increase is, and this is also another mistake that many business owners that they do, especially the small to medium business owners. When you know that you are going to increase your pricing, maybe based on certain factors, because you get your yearly increase and then you get the increase where you sit and you realize that I need to charge more for my services. Whatever the reason is for the increase, you have to warn your clients long before the time. It's not about an increase doesn't make people angry because they have to pay more. It is when you don't give them enough time to prepare. You don't, when you know you're going to increase your services, you are not going to do it when you send your invoice for that specific month. You say, oh, by the way, the services, I've increased my services with 20 or 10 or 15 or whatever percent. Don't do that. Warn your clients long before the time that you are going to increase your pricing. I also want to touch on when it comes to pricing, and like I've said earlier on, when you start off, you are clueless about pricing because, first of all, you don't have the confidence to charge right. Secondly, you are testing the markets. So now, as your business grows and you deliver more services and you learn more about how to improve, how to add value for your clients, you now are able to estimate of what is the value. You can also calculate to the exact number of how much is value to you. How do you cover your cost? How do you cover your expenses? What is the value of your expertise, your knowledge, your time? Because it's not just the time that you put in. It's also the skill, your experience, and your knowledge. So now, with your existing clients, you already have started off from a certain base. When you discover halfway through, hey, Wena, I have been undercharging. So now you can't just go back to the client and say, actually, I've charged you 20,000, but actually you are supposed to give me 50,000. You can't do that. The increase must be gradual, especially if you have entered into a contract. Then, how do you then remedy that? Then you go when the next client comes, the one you don't have a business relationship with, then you increase your price. Remember, the next client pays for the mistake that you made with the current or the previous clients. So now you've made the shift that you know now you have to price better, you have to price higher. Now, what is the formula that you use? Do not, under any circumstances, charge per hour, because very often life is unpredictable. Say on one day, you design a logo for a client and you charged per hour, right? Because you don't know any better. You say it's like so much and so much per hour. But you reckon to design a logo, depending on how long it's going to take you, maybe you charge 500 per hour or maybe 250, whatever your rate is. But it takes you 5 minutes. Do you have to charge for the 5 minutes? No. You charge if you are in that mind of charging per hour, or already you have signed a contract of per hour. Even if you do it within 10 minutes, the client must still pay, whether it's for 4 hours that you've charged or for 3 hours that you've charged. But the reason why I say don't charge per hour, there are certain people. If you say, I'm going to design maybe a whole branding kit for you, for your company, your client's company, And you say, I'm going to charge per hour. It will take me maybe 8 hours. And your client then says 8 hours, but that person does it in 4. What will your response be? And then also, like I'm an accountant, there are some days that when I do a job, it takes me 5 minutes. And then suddenly, the next day, a similar thing takes me 2 hours, even if you are an electrician, because most of the times when it's in terms of maintenance, electricians are charging per hour. So the one day a job takes you 5 minutes because you can see the fault, and then another day it takes you 3 hours. So when there are certain industries where you have to charge per hour, because you are called out and you have to go and do the job. The client is there, they see how long you take. But when it comes to your creative services, when it comes to your consulting services, your design services, the client isn't there to see how long it's going to take you. So you don't price with, it's only going to take me 10 minutes. I can't charge for 4 hours. Listen, you have to think, what is the value that you bring to your client? You have to ask, how much is this helping my client? What big solution, what big problem am I solving for my client? Because if you understand how you are making your client's life easier, you can charge with an open mind. And here is another tip. The type of client that you want is the one who appreciates the value, who doesn't scrutinize the cost. And it takes confidence to reach and to appeal and to speak to that specific client. So do not charge per hour unless you are in an industry where you have to go to the client's house and do a job there and they can see how long you have been there, right? So that is key. So what is the next thing for you to do? I want you to sit down and look at the clients that you have and ask yourself, a year from now, do you still want to have these clients? Do you still want to deal with clients who every time when you get paid, when you have to get paid, you have to convince them that it is your services, it's worth it. You have to chase them for your money. Do you, when you look at your list, do you have a lot of low-paying clients that pay you a little every month to cover your expenses? And is it really worth it? Because each client demands certain skills and time and expertise from you. Is it worth it? Do you, when you look at the list of clients that they have, are they really growing your business, or are you holding on to the illusion of building a business? Ask yourself these questions because they are key and they are important. Then how do you price now to get out of that from the scraps at the bottom? How do you move from the 6 to the 7 figures? You have to change the way you price. You have to position yourself as pricing for premium clients. But premium is a word that has been thrown away so loosely, thrown around so loosely. So you need to ask yourself, what are the premium services that you offer. Look at other people in the industry who are doing the same thing that you are doing. See how they structure their packages. And then from that, then get your own personalized, unique idea of what premium means to you and what it will mean to your client. And of course, you have to offer value for premium services. But what about those clients who are not ready to go to premium when you come with this big package? So in my case, my premium services in terms of accounting and bookkeeping, it is the bookkeeping, it's the compliances, it's a compliance service, so it's all in one. That is the premium. It's all the service that I offer. So, but what do I do with a client who says, but I don't need all of those services? Then you also speak to them, but you still price accordingly. Look, if you do have clients, right, and they are good paying clients, don't fire them because now suddenly you are creating premium packages and they don't want to pay premium pricing. So I don't want these clients anymore. No, this is your opportunity to sit down with your clients, determine what are their needs, right? And you don't have to overcompromise, to bend yourself backwards to accommodate your client's needs. How does the needs of your client, how do they fit in with the service that you offer and the price that you charge? So you can also then price for the DIY clients, the people who will do it themselves. What will be your fee for them? Then you can get the clients, the one where you work with them to guide them through the process. How are you going to price that service? And then you get your premium client. They don't want to know anything. They just want you to get the job done and then charge them at the end after when you have delivered the service. So when you listen closely, you will realize and understand that pricing, it's a very personal thing. No one can tell you how much you can charge. That decision, it lies with you. But whatever you decide, it will either keep you stuck in a 6-figure company or it will propel you to a 7-figure company. And it is easier said than done because first you need to work with your mindset. You need to understand what you are worth and the value that you offer. You must be able to move past the sympathy, the excuses, the I feel so sorry, and the what if I. You have to eliminate all of those things. And it's not easy if your mindset isn't right, if you cannot convince yourself that you bring true value to your client, you will find it very difficult to increase your pricing. To end off with, before you sit down and thumbsuck a number, right? Ask yourself, what is this worth to me? Because you might have a high-paying client that gives you so much stress that you absolutely hate what you do. Or you might have very good low-paying clients who it's a breeze to work with them. They pay you on time, but they're not paying enough. So can you see what I mean when I say pricing is psychological? It's psychological for you and it's psychological for your client. You need to find the middle ground, the perfect compromise, the balance, where you cover your costs and you feel satisfied. And your client also sees the value. But if you have to convince your client every single time of the value that you bring, then maybe you don't have the right client. I just thought of something important and I forgot about it now. But let me end off by saying, remember why you are here, why you are building your business, why and how you want to grow your business. Your pricing will determine your income. Your income will determine how fast your business is growing, and how fast your business is growing will determine the lifestyle that you have. And the lifestyle that you have will either give you peace of mind or it will stress you all the time. So can you see how important the right pricing is and what a difference it makes? So sit down with the clients that you have and ask yourself, where do you want to go with them? Is it really worthwhile to still keep them? And then write down your value, work out your pricing, consider your costs, consider your expenses, factor in your expertise, your knowledge, your time, and then bundle it together to calculate what value are you offering your client. So I hope this video has helped you to get an idea of how important pricing is and how it can move you from a 6-figure to a 7-figure business. Thank you for watching. Please, in the comments, let me know what your challenges are with pricing and how you have managed to overcome them. Thank you.